Good morning, everyone. I know today's topic, what is soul's love, is pretty familiar with most of you. You have experienced soul's love and you have experienced the benefits of soul's love. We all know what the soul is all about, right? It is that frequency, that energy that makes a difference between a dead body and a live human being. Something shifts, something leaves when you take your last breath. That's energy which keeps us alive, keeps us functional, keeps our organs going on, keeps the heartbeat going on, keeps the brain functioning very well. In fact, it facilitates almost everything while we are alive. And death is just the transition from state of being alive through a physical body and to the state of being alive without a physical body. The soul exists before, after, and during the life. It's there. It's full of love for us. And there's so much of love. And that love is not the one that we understand often. I frequently ask people, what is love for you? And the answer varies from culture to culture, people to people, and experience to experience. So, for some people, love is all about gifting. For some people, love is about hugging and smooching. For some people, love is about sex. For some people, love is about accommodating and adjusting. For some people, love is about sacrifice and being a martyr. Love could be different for different people. Love is as pure as air and water. We don't even feel the presence till the time it gets contaminated. We only understand contamination and not the purest form because we haven't really opened up to experience that love for us from minute to minute, day to day, and year after year. It's always there, but we take it for granted because it's too pure. Like water or like air, you're breathing in and out, but not with every breath you would acknowledge that this is the air that keeps me alive, keeps me functional. It's only when the oxygen level depletes, you wake up all of a sudden. I had this thought when I was at lay around 18,000 to 20,000 feet above sea level, and the oxygen level certainly goes down, and you start feeling a little dizzy and a little breathless. And that thought came up again that, well, back in my city, back in the plains, I've always had oxygen and never took it so seriously. Though I always talk about it, teach, but not with every breath. I would think that, I'm able to breathe so much of oxygen just now. We don't think that way because anything that you get so easily, you take it for granted. It's same for the soul. We take it for granted. What the soul does for us. Well, the soul is full of love for you, and love is that frequency that dissolves all toxic emotions and eases out fully. They say if there is darkness, you cannot fight darkness. The solution to the darkness is a speck of light, a spark of light. Fighting with darkness is meaningless. All you need is light or the light source. Look for the light. Same way, if there are so many emotions, anger, hatred, jealousy, frustration, irritation, restlessness, worries, concerns, grief. You cannot fight with them. You just have to invoke and awaken love frequency. And that love frequency will dissolve all this toxicity, especially the emotional toxicity. Love has the potential and power to dissolve all toxicity in your life, and not the contaminated love, the purest form of love, and that is soul's love. It has no conditions, no beliefs, no add on criteria, no demand on you, no conditionality. It's just pure, and that is soul's love. Soul's love is also a technique. Soul's love is also a way of life. Soul's love helps you heal yourself and help yourself when there are too many toxic emotions and your body is hurting, your finances are depleting, your social life is going for a full toss. That's when soul's love can be a great way to help yourself out of the certain situation. So, how do you use soul's love? Before that, you need to understand that soul's love is not only just a technique, but a way of life. And what is a problem with us is not a people, places, or possibilities. Our problems are how we react and respond. So, for example, somebody says something very nasty. Now, that nasty is based on a belief that it is nasty, and secondly, a response to that so called nasty talk. That's what bothers us much more. That conversation happened, people said what they said, and that was over. However, if you believe that it was bad, it was nasty, and if you responded terribly, the toxins of that response will harm you more than those words. So, trust people are not our problem. What they do is not our problem. It's how we believe what they did and how we responded to what they did or said or did or behaved. That becomes our problem. So, if our reactions are our problem, we need to take charge of our reactions. We cannot fight our reactions because we are programmed that way. Of course, there are advanced level radical techniques that will change the programs and change the way you are programmed to respond to a particular situation or particular set of experiences. Till such time, if there are emotional toxins generated because of perceived offense from others, we can dissolve it with soul's love. So, for example, you have a problem with somebody called Suresh. Now, we think Suresh is a problem because every time I look at Suresh, my blood boils. But Suresh is not necessarily a problem. It's a boiling blood. The experience of rage, anger, frustration, that could be your problem. That is your problem because Suresh has gone in the storage system, which is unhealthy. And hence the reactions which are unhealthy. To understand the storage system, you need to refer to the book Radical Crystalline Mind or take up the study through a workshop or a webinar called Radical Crystalline Mind. So if you have stored Suresh in an unhealthy folder, you need to make sure that you change the folder or change the response to Suresh so that you do not keep hurting time and again. Probably Suresh has gone into the storage system or a folder for nasty person, and your blood boils every time you look at Suresh or anybody whose name starts with S or Suresh or anybody who resembles Suresh. All you need to do is just say, Suresh is my soul's love. Now that changes the rules of the filter mind. If you keep saying, Suresh is my soul's love, Suresh goes into the folder which is of loving people, unconditionally loving people. Suresh will have no choice but to comply with your rules and beliefs that you have created in your subconscious mind. Not only that, all the toxins that are generated because of the presence of Suresh or your perception of Suresh can get dissolved and you are at ease. That's how Soul's Love works so beautifully. You can watch the videos on Soul's Love. You can also do some of the meditations on Soul's Love. That's all there on YouTube. The training program to help yourself and self-help training is available easily. You can look for the link for that training also and take it up on your own. And trust, with regular practice of Soul's Love, life will be easy, effortless, and really a beautiful one. I have few of the members over here who are regularly listening to and using Soul's Love. I wondered if anybody would like to endorse what I said and how Soul's Love has helped you. And that will inspire people to use Soul's Love very frequently and making it a way of life. Would anybody like to come forward and give an audio or video testimonial here? Sophie,
Good
Sheetal.
morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Ambika.
I've been practicing radical techniques since 2.5 years. And Soul's Love is a very basic technique. And like Aatmn just explained it, it's a very simple technique. Like, I would like to give an example. When you try to lose weight, generally, the doctor suggests you to detox your body. Similarly, um, Soul's Love is a way to detox your emotions that have been surfaced or uh, that usually get triggered and bother you. You lose your sleep over small things. Uh, you eat your favorite dish, but you don't enjoy it. Uh, a lot of things that from your day to day activities that you keep missing on enjoying or experiencing life uh, in a deeper sense. When that starts happening, Soul's Love helps you take care of the very surfaced emotions and then helps you reach to the core of it.
Yeah.
A lot of things can become simpler by just filtering whatever has been surfaced. And Soul's Love can take you to the heights of the depths of awareness. I know it's a
So
it's
Slav eventually takes you towards the soul consciousness
and self-realization. Yeah,
and
thank you.
self-realization. However, for that you have to make it a way of life and practice pretty often. But it's a super shortcut to your spiritual awareness. Thank you so much, Ambika. Anyone else who would like to talk about their personal experience or their understanding of soul's love?
May I say something?
Yes, sure, Sophie.
I have been using Soul Love for quite some time now, and I find it's like a tool in my kit. Whenever I'm upset, I begin that Soul Love, and somehow it just melts everything. all the anger, all the frustration. I mean, in my case, particularly about the worry. As soon as I start saying soul's love, whatever it is, that's my soul's love. Something shifts and something changes. It is quite inexplicable. But the fact is that relationships also change with the use of soul's love. I have tried it not once, but multiple times. And every time I'm surprised at the effect I get or how I feel after I have done it. It's not just that I feel that way. My target, whoever the person is, also changes and feels somewhat different from what the person was feeling earlier. So that has been my experience, which is one of my favorite tools. Thank you so much, Aatmn, for bringing it into my life.
You're most welcome, Sophie. Thank you for using and teaching it to so many people. Thank you so much. Has anybody benefited in their aches and pains and body illness and would like to give a testimonial?
Can I say, madam?
Yes, sure, Dr. Paula Coyle. Yeah.
So I think for me, soul's love decreases a lot of anxiety. I used to pick up a lot of patients' anxiety. And most of the time, I used to be very confused as why I'm feeling anxious. But whatever the emotion which comes up, I don't put a label to it. I don't try to analyze it. I just do a soul's love to it, whether it is with relations, patients, people, work. And I find that I'm much more calm, much more stable, and in a space where I feel immense gratitude and love for everyone. So that anger and that irritation, frustration, helplessness, overwhelming sensation, which used to be so much, just calms and settles down. So I'm very grateful to Radical and you for teaching this. It's a very simple thing. And most of the time we say, why we are saying this? But if we just leave that thought aside and say it, just say it, believe in it and say it. I think it's a lot with faith which comes into it. So thank you so much. It has really helped.
Most welcome. It works very well with faith. And as you keep working with it, you develop more faith. So it's a beautiful cycle, I guess. Shaili has written in the comment box, soul's love is beautifully connected with your body. Body consciousness gets activated. Thank you, Shaili. Thank you so much for this feedback.
Aatmn, sorry.
Yes, Ambika. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of them sometimes may not know exactly what is triggering them or what has surfaced, even in unawareness, or by just saying, I am my soul's love. Also, it will help you know what your issue is. It works that way also. It's not just the emotional toxicity. To know what emotional toxicity you have, to get that awareness also, soul's love is very beneficial. So if you are wondering what these people are talking about, and what if I don't know what my problem is, soul's love will help you find out what you need to work out on.
Beautiful. Just look for the link or Soul's Love free online course to understand that, so that you can learn on your own and make it a way of life. You can easily and freely share this technique with everyone because the humanity deserves this beautiful technique. It's a channel technique. It's been gifted in meditative space, and it's helped a lot of people to remain in a meditative space and become super functional in their personal and professional lives. And it's also improved a lot of relationships. Not only that, for spiritual seeker, it has become a very beautiful ladder to their spiritual evolution. And all that is possible in a step-by-step way. There are a lot of people here like Shrital Gusani, we have Ambika. They regularly hold daily radical recitation, and Soul's Lab is an integral part of it. You can join them, it's free of cost. And the Telegram group link is also there, and I will just add it at the end of the video. So make it a part of life, help yourself, and make your life as beautiful as Soul's Love. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and have a blessed week ahead.